Welcome back, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon. Thank you if you didn't unsubscribe after Sunday's controversial video, but Galadon loves a good argument, so let's talk about this because, well, we had some visceral responses in the comments to my last video talking about the values of things you might purchase with raid medals. Now, let's just break this down and look at it from a factual standpoint, meaning exactly how many gems of value are you getting per raid medal? And before I do that, let me remind you that when it comes to opinions, they're just like butts. Everybody has one and they all stink, including mine, which states that true free-to-play players should not obsess and be distracted by the shiny ores in the shop. Hero equipment is fun. It might help you get more stars in War, in CWL, in Legend League, but for us farmers, it's not really going to help you do much more in farming. In fact, it's an infinitesimal increase per hero level of ability per raid. Okay, so 3.0 got about 1,500 medals this past season, and as you may be aware, I have 40 accounts that I try to play every week. I don't get to all of them. In fact, this past week over in Just Galadon, we did slack just a bit. And unfortunately, because of that, we got demoted down to Crystal 1. I'm sorry, I only rated on 13 accounts, okay? Out of what, 21? Yeah, okay, so 2/3 roughly. And of course, that means they all get raid medals, and we are going to be using the gem calculation for the costs of resources from the shop as if you were buying in bulk. And then of course with ores, it is much more direct, and remember the rarity of each of these. Starry much harder to find than shiny. Starry ore is going to get you about a half a gem value per raid medal. Glowy is going to get you about 0.8, and finally shiny gets you a whopping 1.4 gems of value per raid medal spent. But if you compare that to resources, across the board, gold elixir, dark elixir get you a better value, roughly 2.3 gems of value per raid medal spent. And then finally, of course, wall rings, by far the best value of all, 4.7 gem value per raid medal spent when you're getting wall rings. And wall rings, although they may seem hard to get, you need to remember they are just an equivalent of gold or elixir, so they're really not that difficult to find. Of course, ore is always going to be by far the hardest thing to track down. So if you want to do fancy fun stuff with your hero equipment, you want to make it more powerful, then yes, obviously focus on the hero equipment, focus on the ores. But if you are a purist, free-to-play player like Galadon 3.0, we focus on accelerating our upgrades as quickly as possible, and in that case, hero equipment doesn't matter nearly as much. So in the final analysis, obviously the general consensus is everybody wants to upgrade their hero equipment. It's flashy, it's fun, it's powerful, it's arguably the most broken feature in the entire game right now, and it seems unlikely that the Clash of Clans team is going to nerf it anytime soon, simply because it has become a huge time, resource, and money sink for players around the world. It helps slow everybody's progress down. It gives players more things to spend money on, to spend gems on, and of course to spend their time on. So it only makes sense that such a powerful item in the game would be upgraded with the most scarce resource in the game. And out of my 40 accounts, 38 of them are going to try to pick up as much hero equipment and ore as possible. The other two, 3.0 and Pass.0, are focused solely upon upgrading as quickly as they possibly can. And because I can't play each account for hours a day, resources like gold elixir and dark elixir matter more, and they are more valuable to me personally. But that's the beauty of Clash of Clans. You can play it how you wish and enjoy it. That's the key. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it cleared up a little bit of confusion. Thank you, Galafam, for sticking around all the way to the end of today's episode. Now get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and year. Be kind to other people, animals, and the planet. And of course, I hope to see every last one of you, except for those that unsubscribed, back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon! Galadon! If it's any consolation, I did not unsubscribe. Well, maybe I did, and I resubscribed, and then I and then resubscribed.